Hello and welcome to our Celebrate Colorado IACAC session for this evening. My name is Robin Morath. I am the Career and College Admissions Specialist at Maine South High School in Park Ridge, Illinois. And on behalf of IACAC, we are thrilled to present this information session on 4 wonderful Colorado colleges. Just some items before we get started. If you do have questions, we ask that you use the Q&A button to type your questions to the presenters at any time. Just know that they might not answer right away, but might wait until the end of the presentation to do so. Your camera and microphone are off and you're muted, so the panelists can't see or hear you, and neither can I. Please sign up for more sessions. This is a wonderful opportunity that lasts through next week. October 22nd is the last day of these virtual college exploration sessions. And the recordings will become available about 1 week after our event this evening. So you can check back to the same website that you signed up for this to get the recording or any recordings of the wonderful sessions that have been presented. So I am going to now turn it over to Vanessa Ia from the University of Colorado at Colorado Springs.
All right, good evening, everyone. It's good to have you here. You are in the Celebrate Colorado webinar session. We'll get started first with some brief introductions. And so I do represent the University of Colorado, Colorado Springs. I've been with my university for 21 years now. I started as an academic advisor, but for the last 10 years, have worked with prospective students and families like yourself throughout the Midwest, as well as on the West Coast. And I'll let each of my fellow colleagues introduce themselves, and we'll start with Luke.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Luke Contreras. I am an assistant director at the Office of Admissions for Colorado School of Mines in beautiful Golden, Colorado. I am born and raised in Colorado and would love to welcome more students to our great state. So thanks for hanging out with us this evening.
Hello, I'm Tiffany Dallas with the stunning Colorado State University, Fort Collins, Colorado. So I actually live here in Illinois. So go Bears, don't go Broncos. We can send our students there, but you're not getting the sports. But so yeah, I live, sleep, admit students from the state of Illinois. So I'm here to help.
Hey everybody, my name is Nick Corain, and I am one of the Senior Assistant Directors of Admissions at Regis University in Denver, Colorado. I've been at Regis for about 14 years now, 4 as an undergrad and the last 10 working in our admissions office. And I work with students from the state of Illinois as well. So thank you for coming today. We really appreciate it. And Vanessa is going to tell you a little bit more about our picturesque, stunning, all of the other adjectives that we described state.
Awesome, yes. So I will spend just the first 5 minutes here giving you a brief overview about why we think basically Colorado is just awesome for higher education opportunities. So here's a map of our lovely state, and most of Colorado's population lives on what we call the eastern slope of the Rocky Mountains. Obviously, here's the Rocky Mountains. And actually the 4 universities that you will be hearing about today all are on the eastern slope of the Rocky Mountains. So you're gonna get a good introduction to what we have in Colorado. In terms of why Colorado, you know, just some brief highlights here. In terms of weather, you know, we get all 4 seasons, obviously. You know, it's funny, I did my undergraduate actually in Chicago, and so I know you all get 4 seasons as well, but it's a little different in Colorado. You know, in January, we can have, you know, cold days, but we can actually have 50-degree days. And it's funny, I work with kids from the West Coast, and they're like, oh, 50 degrees, that's cold. But you all know that you're like, oh, that's nice for January for sure. So anyway, you know, that is not a myth. You see on the slide, we do get over 300 days of sunshine year round. The mountains truly are our playground, not just faculty, staff, but our students, of course, as well. With the great outdoors and having that access, we are one of the top states when it comes to healthy living. active lives and things like that. And then just for your information, as far as public health is concerned, our governor has our state currently at the stage safer at home and in the vast great outdoors. So our students are certainly taking advantage of that, socially distanced, obviously, because we've got a lot of elbow room in the state when it comes to our various outdoor activities. Of course, as a parent, my oldest son is a high school senior, so I am very concerned about outcomes and the access that he should have to things while he is in college when it comes to jobs or internships, and of course, what a university is doing in terms of after they graduate. So whether their goal is to go on to graduate school or medical school or to land a job after they finish their bachelor's degree. I want to make sure that that's something that he's paying attention to, and I hope you are as well. So in the state of Colorado, you see a few different numbers on the screen. Our economy has done pretty well, despite the overall economy of the US going like that, we've kind of held steady. We are one of the most educated states. Almost half of our adult population have at least a bachelor's degree, and so we certainly value higher education. And then you'll hear from my colleagues, as well as myself, some of the organizations, the businesses that do business with our various universities when it comes to research and jobs and internships. Finally, I would urge you to consider a few things when you're looking at our state. Majors and opportunities unique to Colorado. There are just some programs that make sense in our state rather than others. I think of, Colorado State, where they're always in the top 3 when it comes to vet programs. Why wouldn't you look at them for something like that? Or with some unique programs over at Mines when it comes to geological engineering, or over in Regis, or at Regis, being in close proximity to some really top-notch research, health, medical centers. And so again, definitely looking closer at Colorado for some majors that you would not be able to pursue in other places. Graduation rate is also very important. A 4-year degree should take 4 years or less, and I think you'll find that the options that you have before you tonight can provide you with that. And then finally, some of us are transfer friendly. If you do decide to do 1 year or maybe 2 years at your local community college, you'll want to talk to us about the opportunities about transferring those credits, or maybe you have AP tests under your belt, or you've done dual enrollment or concurrent enrollment while you're in high school. We'd love to talk to you about that. And so without further ado, I am actually gonna start us off and pass it on to Luke.
Perfect. All right, good evening, everybody. My name is Luke Contreras. I'm with Colorado School of Mines here in beautiful Golden, Colorado. Thank you so much for logging in today. Golden is a cool little town on the west side of the metropolitan area of Denver, where you get that cool mountain town feel, but the opportunities and the amazing amenities of what living in a big city is like. You're probably wondering, why did he put on the hard hat for his presentation? Well, Colorado School of Mines, we are a STEM institution: science, technology, engineering, and math. And when it's our history as the ore diggers, where we have a very prominent mining and geological background, to being engineers and building the world, we always want to make sure we look good and feel good as we make an impact in the world around us. So STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, as well as economics. We have 37 degrees in that explore all aspects of what STEM means. So whether it is to be an engineer, or whether it's to work in computer science and to study something along the lines of robotics or cybersecurity, you can be very confident that Mines is going to be an amazing place for your 4-year education when it comes to STEM. My buddy Blaster back here, our mascot, you get a sense of the school spirit as well. And what it takes to be a student of ours. Now, something we love about our admissions process and about how we help you find a major is you don't have to find a major till like the second semester of your sophomore year. So we are huge advocates of coming to explore, try things out, learn a little bit of this, learn a little bit of that. Some of our degree programs, as Vanessa kind of alluded to, are really unique because of our location, whether it's geological engineering, geophysical engineering, mining engineering, and all the above. You'll find a lot of cool of those STEM programs that Mines can provide. Now, I like to call Mines the Goldilocks University. Not too big, not too small, just right. We are about 6,500 total students when you combine our undergrad population with our graduate population. About an average freshman class is right around 1,300. So you get the big school research opportunities and science opportunities, but that small community at the same exact time. 55% of our students are from Colorado, and actually Illinois is number 4 in our most represented states on campus. So we got a lot of students that come to us from Illinois that head west to the mountains and find their home here in Golden. And I love to highlight our retention rate. I think the cool thing is I encourage all of you to ask a school what their retention rate is, because it gives you a sense of the support they provide the students. It gives you a sense of like how they view the students. It also gives you a sense of like, are the students having a good time? And so our 92% retention rate is something we're very proud of, and something that we believe is a small nugget of why students continue their journey at Mines and why we love what we do in Colorado. Now, one of the big things I love to tell everybody, and that I think is important, and Vanessa kind of alluded to it, is outcomes, right? Like, paying for college is expensive, and Mines is a public university. So you're looking at a tuition rate that's a little bit different than my in-state students. So I know it's really tempting to see tuition as like a big, scary number, but I want you to think it as an investment in your future. And at Mines, we are committed to truly taking your investment and allowing you to go anywhere. Whether it's our $69,375 average starting salary for our alums, which is the highest of the four-year schools in Colorado, to knowing that we have over 80% of our students get some sort of an internship with companies like Lockheed Martin, Google, Amazon, Raytheon, SpaceX, the team or the company owned by Elon Musk that got the astronauts up to the International Space Station over the summer. All these awesome internship opportunities. Georgetown University did this awesome study where when you look at how much Mines costs and you look at what the total lifetime earnings of our alumni are, we were mentioned as one of the top 20 universities in the country when it comes to the total return on your investment. So you should be very confident that whether it's our networking opportunities, our hands-on learning in the STEM field, we're going to do our best to make sure that when you graduate and you get to rock this hard hat with pride, that you are ready to rock and roll in that first job after school. So if you're looking at STEM, you're looking at Colorado and that small community, School of Mines might be the best fit for you. Thank you so much for logging on today. And it means a lot to all of us that you have. You can always reach us at admissions@mines.edu. And since I'm your rep, I'll be the one responding back. So now I'm going to throw it to my coworker, my colleague, Tiffany at Colorado State.
Well, hello, students. Can you see me? Why can you not see me? There we go. Sorry, hold on, technical difficulties. Let me grab this. So I'm Tiffany Dallas, of course, with Colorado State University. As noted, I live, work, eat, breathe here in Illinois. So I'm here to help students through the process. In pre-COVID times, I would take you out for coffee and we could chat one-on-one about how awesome CSU is, but be that as it may, in life with COVID, of course, I'm always here to help students via Zoom. So a little bit about CSU and our epic location. We're located in Fort Collins, Colorado. So it's a population of about 174,000. It's an hour straight north of Denver, again, along the front range of the Colorado Rockies. So everything west of us is the mountains that you're looking at. This is an actual picture that I took. I got up and I went hiking and I watched the sunrise over the mountains. It was just such a beautiful scene. It's something that, of course, we don't get in Illinois. I live in the cornfields of DeKalb, so going out to Fort Collins really is a paid vacation for me. So I'm always excited to visit our campus. So a little bit about Fort Collins, because I really can't talk about CSU and not talk about Fort Collins. The two go hand in hand. And when the four farmers donated us land 150 years ago, they said that we had to maintain a good relationship with the city and the college campus. And 150 years later, that's still strong. So we were just ranked the best city in all of America to live, followed by our friends in Ann Arbor and then Madison. So we're super excited for that ranking. We've been ranked the third happiest and healthiest city in America, one of the top 10 college towns to live in forever. Downtown Fort Collins is so cool. It's comparable to downtown Naperville, but it's in mountains and it's bigger. So it has like the strong lights, there's the wide cobblestone brick roads, these old historic buildings, there's live street music, there's 50 art galleries, there's 600 restaurants in Fort Collins. So it really is just the coolest of places to visit. And then of course to go to school. Everything surrounding us is wildlife land. So we have 285 miles of bike lanes, hiking trails, nature paths. And Fort Collins is a super robust city. So there's a lot of international companies based in Fort Collins. So HP, Otterbox, Walrus Ice Cream, New Belgium Brewery. These are all big cities or big companies that, our students are able to go do internships, externships, and to really get that hands-on experience outside of the classroom. So CSU, we're a Carnegie One research university. We funnel more than $350 million a year into research. On our campus, 20% of our undergraduate students are involved with research. It's not something we just talk about, it's something we do across all disciplines on our campus. So our total student body, everywhere you look, it's a little bit of a different number. We have a really large online population. On campus, we have 28,500 students. This last incoming class was about 4,500 students. It was a little bit down because of COVID, but we're really excited to see how our fall 2021 class is going to grow. So our students are divided into 8 different colleges. We have 250 areas of study with 74 bachelor's degrees. Our student to faculty ratio is 1:9. Our largest major on our campus is biology, followed by zoology, followed by psychology, so we have the ologies, and then health and exercise science. Our most competitive majors on our campus are biomedical sciences, anything in the College of Engineering, anything in the College of Business, journalism, along with computer science. A lot of times students say, what's your best major? I really do not like that question, because I think what students really want to know is, what are you most well known for? So thank you so much for Vanessa for the plug, but anything with animals. We do have the 3rd ranked vet school in the entire country. So we have international recognition when it comes to working with animals, whether it be saving the wolves of Yellowstone. One of our professors just found a new species of frog in Ecuador. Or if you want to do the cute puppies and kittens, that would be my choice, of course, but we have swine, we have equine, or even African elephants. Any sort of animal related major we offer at CSU. And then anything with sustainability. So we have the mountain campus. It's a 1,200 acre campus in the Colorado Rockies. So our total campus sprawl is about 8,500 acres, but the mountain campus is 1,200 acres. So it's absolutely beautiful. So a lot of our students who are interested in anything with the environment. We are the first university in the entire world to obtain the STARS Platinum ranking for sustainability. So again, any class you take at CSU, there's more than 1,000 classes that have some component of sustainability, whether it be a fashion design or, of course, a business class. So you're going to learn about sustainability in all of your classes at the university. So as far as admissions at the university, well, first let's jump backward and talk about our students, where they're coming from. So about 16% of our student body is transfer students. And of the 16% of the transfer students, about 25% of them are actually transfers from other four-year schools. So in Illinois, our largest transfer schools are CLC, COD, and Waubonsie Valley. So if you are a transfer student, I'm also your admissions counselor. 42% of our students come to us for STEM majors. 24% of our students identify as being racially or ethnically diverse. This slide's a little bit off. So we're about 65% residents of the state of Colorado. We're about 35% non-residents. I live in Illinois because we receive so many students from this state. So about 160 students matriculate from CSU annually. And then I also have the surrounding states, and we get about 20 to 25 from the surrounding states. Our students are coming to us all 50 states, more than 110 different countries. So admissions, we're Common App exclusive this year. Our average GPA of an incoming freshman this past year was a 3.69 weighted GPA. Does that mean that if a student applies to CSU and has a 3.0, they're not going to be accepted? Absolutely not. We look at students holistically. So we look at the student as a whole human being. We look at academic trends, we look at course rigor, and being your admissions counselor, all four of us, please make sure that you reach out to us because the four of us exist to help you. It's in our best interest to help students apply and learn more about how to be most competitive in the admissions process. Test scores are not required this year. I repeat, we are not requiring test scores. I know that I have them on the slide. I just wanted to share them. In the case a student falls in the averages, you're welcome to send them. We do not need test scores for admissions nor for scholarships. I would recommend you apply now without the scores rather than waiting. So I always tell my students apply by Halloween. That's coming up pretty quick here because some of our programs are super competitive and they're capped. So I had a student from a North Shore school that applied for a biomedical sciences program with a 4.0 and a 36, but she was waitlisted because she did not apply in time. So if you apply by Halloween, you're going to guarantee yourself the most opportunities at the university, whether you want to get involved with the university honors program or anything, of course, a competitive major. So we are rolling. The sooner you apply, the sooner you receive a decision. So student life, this is my favorite thing about CSU. I think our students are so cool, but of course I'm partial. So we have 500 student organizations on our campus. The largest is the Snow Riders and the Outdoor Club. So those two, well, the Outdoor Club goes camping, kayaking, that sort of thing. The Outdoor Club goes up into the mountains and skiing and snowboarding. We have sorority and Greek life. It's about 12% of our overall student body. Every academic major has at least one professional student organization affiliated with it. At the College of Business, I think they have 60. So we have a marching band, we have a pep band, we have the presidential band. There's 20 different choirs. There's 3 major playhouses on campus. We have 30 sports clubs. We're a huge D1 school. We just built a new stadium. It seats 40,000, so it's $250 million. So we love our new stadium. Study abroad. We have study abroad in all 7 continents, more than 1,000 different locations. And then we're also the international host for Semester at Sea. So our students get on this massive cruise boat and they sail the world. They port in 4 continents, 13 cities, 12 countries in the course of 1 semester. So that's a pretty outstanding opportunity for students. Of course, our mascot is that cute little guy, Cam. And without further ado, I am going to pass it along to Nick.
All right. Hey, everybody. So again, my name is Nick Corain, and I'm from Regis University in Denver, Colorado. As I said at the top of the show, of the hour, I am the admissions counselor that works with students from the state of Illinois. I always like to point out before we get started, Regis is one of the 27 Jesuit colleges and universities across the United States, and we are the only one kind of located in that whole Rocky Mountain region. So a little bit more about that location. Regis is located in the Highlands neighborhood, which is a residential pocket in the northwest corner of Denver. We're about 5 to 10 minutes outside of downtown proper. Denver, as we talked about, is one of the most active, educated, fastest growing cities in the country, all things which create kind of a wealth of opportunities for our students and our graduates. So academically, this usually comes in the form of clinical rotations, academic internships, community-based work-study positions at local nonprofits. Socially, it often takes the form of like your usual city life. So concerts downtown, sporting events. Denver has every major sports team. And there's tons of different parks and shops and neighborhoods and restaurants in between our campus and downtown itself that our students hang out in. And if downtown is like 5 to 10 minutes away from our campus, then the Rocky Mountains kind of begin their rise about 15 to 20 minutes west of our campus. So whether it's kind of skiing with your friends on the weekends or going on impromptu sunset hikes with your friends in the middle of the week, having the mountains kind of in our backyard definitely feeds our appetite for adventure. So walking around campus day to day, there are about 3,000 students. Of those 3,000, 2,000 are our traditional undergraduate students like yourselves. So this breaks down to an incoming first-year class of around 500 students each fall. In the classroom, our average class features about 17 students. Almost all of these classes are capped at 30 students, and 100% are going to be taught by professors who hold the terminal degrees in their fields of study. So take advantage of that. When our students graduate, one of their most favorite experiences of their time at Regis was usually the relationships they were able to build with their faculty. My thesis advisor, her name was Nikki Gonzalez, Dr. Gonzalez. She'd have a pizza party at her house at the end of each semester. And going to those things is like not part of your grade, but if you don't do them, you miss out on one of the really special parts about being at a small school community. Kind of speaking of academic disciplines and in the classroom, we are very well known for majors in the hard sciences and the health sciences. So in the health sciences, we have a direct entry nursing program that was recently ranked as the #1 nursing program in the state of Colorado. So we're very proud of that. We also have a Doctor of Physical Therapy program, a DPT program, that's ranked nationally in the top 25. So because of that, we're really well known for those health sciences and the foundational sciences that build those, like biology, chemistry, neuroscience. Beyond those sciences, majors in business, computing, education, and the humanities are also popular for our students. And as far as unique majors are concerned, as I mentioned already, we do have a Bachelor's of Science in Neuroscience. So if any of you are really into the brain and how and why it does what it does, they do some pretty amazing stuff in that neuroscience program. We also have a pretty unique major in peace and justice studies. So peace and justice, neuroscience, like they tend to attract students from all over the country for those programs. It's also important to point out that as a liberal arts and sciences university, you're not required to officially declare your major until the end of your sophomore year. So if any student is undecided, you would be coming in with about 1/3 of our typical first-year class each year who is also undecided. And as I previously mentioned, Regis is a Jesuit university. So if you're not familiar with the Jesuits are a religious order within the Catholic Church. So if you have the Catholic Church as the big umbrella, there are many different types of Catholics. There's Jesuits, Franciscans, Lassallians, Benedictines, and they're all Catholic, but they have different ways and styles of living that Catholic faith. So what the Jesuits are really known for is education and social justice. So as far as education is concerned, in order to be a Jesuit priest, they're required to do their priestly ordainment, but they're also required to have PhDs in their academic fields of study. So because of this, Jesuits are really known as learners and educators. So it makes sense that we are one of a family of 27 Jesuit colleges and universities across the country. Some of the most well-known Jesuit schools on the East Coast would be like Georgetown, Boston College, Fordham. In your neck of the woods, Loyola Chicago, Marquette, Xavier, SLU. On the West Coast, Santa Clara, Gonzaga, Seattle U. So we are all in that Jesuit family. We're all different schools in different parts of the country, but we share this philosophy of educating and social justice with our students. I'm not Catholic. Being Catholic is certainly not a requirement for our students. Those who are looking for a religious experience have plenty of opportunities to grow and explore their faith with our departments of university ministry. Those who are not looking for that are not pressured to do so. All of our students, however, are going to be challenged to think critically about how they can use their education and their passions and their talents to try to make their communities a better place. And that mindset, that kind of union of things is really at the hallmark of what Jesuit schools are really about. So as far as the admissions process is concerned, we are on rolling admissions, meaning students can submit their application materials throughout the course of their final year in high school. Majority of our applications, like Tiffany mentioned, do tend to come in right now before that Halloween period too. Those of you who are interested in our direct entry nursing program, however, will be asked to submit your admission materials by our December 1st nursing deadline. And please, 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 please list nursing as your intended major on your application, and you will make my life so much easier if you do that. So again, applying to Regis University is free year-round. We accept the common application as well as our in-house Regis application. There is truly no preference, so whichever application makes the most sense for you, please submit that one. And as of this fall, even prior to COVID, we decided that we were going to go test optional for all of our undergraduate programs. And all students, regardless of whether they submit test scores, will receive maximum consideration for admission, merit scholarship opportunities, and financial aid as well. Speaking of financial aid, 99% of our students are receiving those things. So last year, our average financial aid package was just over $34,000 in assistance. 29,500 of that is made up of free money in terms of merit scholarships or grants, as well as student employment, which is a learn and earn program. Beyond our merit scholarships, which range from $5,000 a year to $20,000 a year and are awarded at the time of admission, we give out 24 scholarships each year during our full tuition scholarship weekends in February. So this year will be the first year we allow students to compete for these scholarships on a fully virtual basis. So we're very excited about that. Beyond these, we also have talent scholarship opportunities for students that are recruited to our music, speech and debate, or Division II athletic programs. And then lastly, as Vanessa said at the top, like if you're going to earn a bachelor's degree, it should logically take you 4 years because it's a 4-year degree. So Regis has a 4-year guarantee, which says students who are unable to complete their studies in 4 years and are in good academic and disciplinary standing, that's the small fine print, will have any additional classes or semesters they need to graduate paid for by the university. So essentially, this is our way of saying we're confident in our advisors and that our students will get in the classes they need when they need them to graduate in 4 years. And so this 4-year guarantee covers students pursuing a major and a minor, and it also covers our students that take advantage of our semester abroad opportunities as well. And with that, I'm going to pass it off to Vanessa as I'm losing my voice.
All right, thanks, Nick. So happy to be back to now update you on the University of Colorado, Colorado Springs, or UCCS. UCCS is a part of the all public, all research University of Colorado system, and we are the smallest in the system. We had a little less than 12,000 students start back with us for our fall semester, or start with us this fall semester. Whereas with my 3 colleagues, you were spending time in Denver and a little north of Denver. We are located 1 hour south of the capital city of Denver, and we are the 2nd largest city after our capital. And so in terms of programs, we have 6 different areas that we divide our majors into. I get asked a lot about our College of Nursing and Health Sciences. I also get asked a lot about our College of Business and our College of Engineering and Applied Sciences. Those 2 programs are our original programs that we've had since our campus was started a little over 50 years ago. But in addition to that, we do have our College of Education, where if you're interested in becoming a teacher, or any of our counseling programs, that falls under the education school. We have a School of Public Affairs. And then finally, our largest college on campus would be our College of Letters, Arts, and Sciences, where the most popular majors would be communication, psychology, biology, pre-med. All of those programs go all the way up to the doctor level on our campus. This slide here in the upper left-hand corner just outlines for you some of the new programs this year. And so social work is new in our School of Public Affairs. Public Affairs is where our criminal justice program also lives, but brand new this year is our bachelor's and master's degree in social work. We've had cybersecurity programs in our College of Engineering and will continue to do so, but now our College of Business has added the management aspect of cybersecurity. digital media is brand new in what is called our Bachelor of Innovation program, or BI. The BI program is a one-of-a-kind degree. Only entrepreneurs would think to copyright a degree, and so you really won't find it anywhere else except for at our Colorado Springs campus. Some of the original programs in our BI program that we continue to have would include game design as well as our computer security program. And then finally, human physiology and nutrition is not brand new to us. We've always had programs in athletic training and nutrition and sports health and wellness. What is brand new with that department is their building. And so our Hibble Center of Sports Medicine and Performance Center is a really neat space. And so at last count, we had at least 8 physicians that were on our faculty. And so they are teaching not just our undergraduate students in this department, but they are also teaching our 3rd and 4th year medical school residents. In addition, they are seeing patients in the Hibble Center. And so what that means for our undergraduate students is it's a really nice collision space when it comes to your academic coursework, when it comes to exposure to clinical opportunities, and then of course, research opportunities. And so as you might have heard from a couple of my colleagues, public universities in the state of Colorado have gone test optional for this year. And so here is a grid. We've got this grid also on our admissions website, and it basically divides up our majors. So depending on what program you're looking to get into, it outlines for you what GPA we'd be looking for, as well as certain coursework that we would be looking for on your high school transcript, depending on what you're looking to take. We hope to have very soon a similar chart when it comes to our scholarships up very soon. Because of course, as we've gone test optional with our admissions requirements, we have also gone test optional with our merit scholarships. And so that will be coming very soon. So just some examples of scholarships that we do. This one on the top here, the Peak Award, we do automatically when a student has applied and been accepted from out of state, including Illinois. And so basically it's an award of a little over $6,000 per year. That's again an automatic scholarship that you don't have to apply for. There are other scholarships, and these two are just examples of other scholarships that you do need to apply for once you have been accepted to the university. And so, for example, the Chancellor's Leadership class, if you're involved in leadership now or have been in high school and you want to go on and be involved in leadership while you're in college, then that might be a scholarship that you compete for. This one is stackable on the Peak Award. That is an example of one of our stackable scholarships. The presidential scholarship is not stackable with the Peak Award because it actually gives you more money. And so if you compete for the presidential award and you receive that, you actually would pay, or it brings your non-resident tuition down to resident tuition times 1.1. And so, like I said, this one is not stackable with Peak. You would receive the presidential instead of the automatic Peak. The other thing I would note when it comes to paying for college is we do a really good job of having a lot of part-time jobs on campus for our students. And I'm not just talking about students who have work study on their financial aid letter. These are our hourly jobs that we have on our campus. So out of the almost 12,000 students that go to UCCS, about 1,300 of them work somewhere on campus, even in this remote environment. And so as an example, in our admissions office, we have at least 30 tour guides, and we are doing small socially distanced campus tours, but certainly not as many as we did in pre-COVID. So our tour guides, though, are still helping us with virtual events like this one, with virtual tours, with videos and things like that. We have students, of course, still living on campus. And so we have students who are working at, coffee shops that are across campus. And then, as I mentioned before, our students are taking advantage of the vast great outdoors. And so our recreation center they're still employing students to run some of those outdoor field trips down to Garden of the Gods for rock climbing, or, when it was warmer about a month or so ago, actually it's pretty warm today, they'll go whitewater rafting, and again, this is all run through our recreation center. And so, as I've alluded to, this is a great shot of part of our campus. It was taken from one of the mild hiking, mountain biking trails that sit above us on our bluffs. But you can see off in the distance Pikes Peak Mountain, which is one of our 14ers. It's a little over 14,000 feet above sea level, not a skiable mountain. Important to note, but if you are looking for harder hiking trails or mountain biking trails, you can see that right from campus. And so, like I said, students are definitely taking advantage of being outside in all 4 seasons. All right, so that is our time. We just threw at you some great information about 4 choices in the state of Colorado. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop those in the Q&A. And while you do that, I will ask my colleagues to share maybe one final reason why Illinois students choose to study in Colorado, or more specifically, why they chose your campus. Where's the hard hat, Luke? I'm looking for that. There you go. Okay, so we'll start with Luke again and have him answer that question.
I mean, I think a lot of reasons why students come to from Illinois come to mind is they get that tight-knit community, they get that support system. Also, as Vanessa alluded to earlier, our snow melts. So it could snow in the morning and then be melted by the end of the day. And we don't really get polar vortexes. So if you're tired of the weather, come to Colorado. Our winter is your spring. But yeah, no, just know that this is a super supportive community. Whether you at any of the 4 universities here, you'll find so much support. Coloradans, I like to joke that we don't take ourselves seriously, but we take what we do seriously. It's kind of like how Colorado rolls.
I think anywhere in the state, you can't go wrong in Colorado. I mean, it's just beautiful. There's 300 days of sunshine. The people are really friendly. The Midwest, we're supposedly friendly, but that I think excludes, the Chicago bubble. I have been born and raised here, so I can say this. The rest of you better not. But people here are a lot harder, and there's a lot harder shell to crack. But in Colorado, everyone's just super happy, and I think it has everything to do with 300 days of sunshine. Growing up in the northwest suburbs, I really thought that gray skies and there's snow on the ground from November 1st until April 1st. But no, there's a place where it actually melts and that it's warm and that you don't get swarmed by mosquitoes, to my Southern Illinois students, if there's any on here. The mosquitoes are bigger than your head. So, and CSU in particular, I fell in love with the town. It has the beauty, it has the brains, and it has the heart. But it's for what's right for each student.
I mean, I would definitely echo all of those things that both of you have said. The other thing that I would say is I think I find that students that come to Regis, but also to Colorado schools, especially from Illinois, like you need to have a little bit of adventure in you. I think it's easy to like the idea of going away to Colorado for college, but I think a lot of people tend to end up staying in the Midwest. So I think having that little bit of adventure in you to leave your comfort zone and try something new, I think is especially fitting for a state like Colorado to make sure you have that in you.
And don't fret, there are tons of Cubs fans in Colorado for you to hang out with.
An annoying amount.
Cubs fans are everywhere in Colorado.
I wish Luke had told us he was going to pull out the hard hat. I mean, totally killing it today. All right, well, no questions have come in, which means high five, everyone. You did your job and shared some great information about the state. So we're going to turn it back over to Robin to close us out.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks, Robin.
I'm going to try to show you the last slide here. There we go. Okay. So for our panelists, thank you so much for participating, and for our members or for our participants, thank you for joining us. You will receive a quick survey after you close this window. It's just 4 questions. We really appreciate your feedback on this event because it's our first ever virtual college exploration with IACAC. Please sign up for more sessions because there are more that are running through next Thursday, the 22nd. And again, the recording will be available for this about a week after. So about at the end of the time of our exploration week, you'll find this available. And then also any other session that you haven't been able to attend, you can search for that. So thank you to our panelists. Love taking a trip with you virtually to Colorado. That was fun. And thank you for attending. Have a wonderful evening.